Once you have 50 plebs, you unlock the import and export depots. These buildings automatically buy and sell items, which is incredibly useful for selling off excess and buying stuff you're short on. They're also not very intuitive to use, especially the export depot. However, before you can use them, you need to negotiate a trade agreement with a faction on the world map. Click the flag at the top left corner and then click a faction. Within this menu, click the Diplomacy tab on the right and select Trade. Click on the Barter button. This will automatically balance a trade with additional currency or items. If you can't afford the trade agreement, just wait a little bit, and your neighbouring factions will give you a handout. A trade agreement requires their opinion to be at least 1.5. If you manage to tank it somehow, good luck. With that done, you can now use the depots. They are cheap to construct, requiring at minimum 6 wood and stone. Ideally, you want to build your depots close to a warehouse that holds the stuff you're buying and selling. Click on the depot, then click the question mark to set a resource to export. 1 type per depot. By default, the export depot is configured to only sell once your warehouses are full. This is useful for quickly getting rid of more than you can store. But more often than not, you'll want to sell off anything you don't need, especially food which decays quickly. This slider is a percent value, so as your warehouse capacity increases or decreases, the amount you import will increase or decrease correspondingly. By adjusting the slider, you can set the threshold for selling, all the way to the right, and you'll store nothing and export everything. This is useful for resources you can forage early on but won't be able to use for a while, like opiates and herbs. As you adjust the slider, the tooltip tells you exactly how many will be fetched from storage to sell. As you sell more stuff, the price your trade partners will be willing to pay will drop. You can set a minimum sell price to withhold goods until demand increases again. By default, the export depot will fetch goods from anywhere within a 50 tile walk. Disabling fetch prevents the depot workers from fetching goods not stored in warehouses. The confusingly named Prioritize button, when enabled, lets the depot take items from any warehouse in the radius. If you want the depot to only take from a specific warehouse, you can disable fetch and prioritize and click the pull source to select a warehouse. Pulling from source will try to empty the warehouse by default. This can also be changed with the slider. This overrides the main slider. Clicking this cog here sets the depot to pull from the 4 nearest warehouses. If the depot is properly set up and workers are available, they'll automatically move stock. You can mouse over the depot to see how many items are available for sale. Merchants will come by to purchase items periodically. The import depot is much simpler. Like the export depot, you can use the slider to purchase until your warehouses reach a specific threshold. The default setting is 0, so you'll only begin importing once you adjust it. If you don't want to bankrupt yourself importing, set a sensible price cap. You can also use a treasury limit field to only purchase when you have funds to spare. Typically, you'll only have 1 or 2 neighbours to trade with. To get access to more factions, upgrade your status with your neighbours to colleagues. This requires their opinion of you is at least 2.5. If you fall short, research, construct and staff an embassy, and use diplomacy points to flatter the faction. If their opinion of you falls below 2.5, you will lose colleague status and lose access to the factions. Access to more and better trading partners is extremely lucrative and well worth a small ongoing cost.